What's up, everybody? Hello, Satisfactory. This is Squirrel Games. My name is Mitch. I'd like to show you today my circular bus. I know in the video description it says Mega Circular Bus. I would classify this as a very large, probably more like a large circular bus. This is nothing like something like Zibix would build, something to the scale that that guy would build. He builds massive things. So this is my base. I'm not really wanting to show you my old base. It's unkempt, spaghetti-ish. However, let's start off here. But first, let me show you something I learned. Ooh, go trucks, go. Love them. So, let me show you what I learned. I don't think I've upgraded these belts to, oh, no, tier 5, or Mark 5. Let me upgrade these to Mark 5 belts real quick so I can show you my sweet fast travel. Which way you guys want? This way? Oh yeah. So, I figured out that with the rockets, I'm sure probably lots of people know this, but it's new to me. You can get on these belts, get going at a pretty good clip, start running on the belt, jump up, and you maintain that velocity when you're rocketing through the air with your jetpack. So let me go over to my circular bus. Let's go this way, underneath my space elevator. I'll show you guys really one, and I'm fast. Let me go. Friggin' cool. Tap tap tap. So, circular bus. This is phase, let's see, let's call it rebuild. Oh my gosh, I'm speeding. Let's call it rebuild number 4 for my base. I think uh, everyone's in the same boat with Satisfactory. You start out, don't really know what you're getting into, build a sweet spaghetti factory on the ground, no room. You run into a sweet gas pit, rocky gas pile, and you gotta move or build higher. So what I did was build higher. That's down there is basically my second kind of attempt at a large factory. Quickly realized I didn't build either high enough or far enough away from this gas thing. Anyway, a couple phases later, I decided that I wanted a circular bus system, so I built my circular bus. Let me get in there real quick. So this is it right here. It's a square bus. I call it circular. It's, to be more accurate, we can call it a cyclical bus. I built underneath the space elevator with the intent of feeding it. Quickly realized that I only needed to feed it a couple times. When I built this, I only needed to feed it once before I got the tier upgrade. So I don't really need it anymore, but I think it still looks pretty cool, especially with the radar towers on all 4 sides. Strictly aesthetic, but I think it looks pretty neat. I get the feeling though that it will eventually start limiting my output potential, because I'll either need to build out one more belt, one more stack of belts, or up. If I decide to build up, I'll probably just end up deleting all of the stuff up here. So yeah, this is my circular bus. I started I think my third attempt at building a large bus was a linear bus. It ended up being about 20 high. Didn't like it, super unwieldy. This one is pretty high still, but it's a little bit more manageable. I can pretty much quickly see what's on each belt if I need to figure out where to pull or push to. If you pull up your deconstruct widget, you can see what's on the belts. But yeah, so circular bus, it's three belts wide. It is 8 belts tall, so this belt is, or this, I guess, stack of belts is 8 belts tall. The middle one, and then the inner one here is 8 belts tall. With the latest upgrade, as soon as I got aluminum, I was able to produce enough to get all clad aluminum, excuse me, all clad aluminum. I upgraded all the belts. Pretty sure I got all of them, so you have to upgrade each individual section. So yeah, the idea is with the circular bus is rotating stock. Um, and then for what I have in here, I used to have my hub inside here. I took it out, replaced it with a much more storage because with the new tier upgrade, it added a couple of resources. So initially, I had 24 things I wanted on this bus with the uranium and let's see, bauxite. I don't think I accounted for that one before, but with uranium and bauxite, I ended up needed a couple more belt systems for those new items, which I haven't actually implemented yet into my factory. I'm still actually at the point where I'm still producing a lot of the necessary items. Um, the I think I have all the belts filled up right now, but I'm not like mass producing most of these things yet. I don't think, or a lot. I'm not mass producing a lot of these things yet. So computers, I have a lot on here. It's filled up, but they're only producing like 5 constructors or fabricators. I'm not exactly. So I got constructor, fabricator. Let's see, production. Okay, so constructor, assembler, manufacturer. So I only got like 5 manufacturers right here producing computers. So it's definitely not max capacity. As I add more of those types of things in it, I'm going to want to start building supercomputers and I think radio control units. I think my next thing will be turbo motors and onto uranium production, nuclear production. That'll really start taxing this circular bus system. So going into this, I knew that one of the bottlenecks was going to be belt speed, as they're only able to supply at a given rate per upgrade. So I had Mark IV belts on here. I don't know. I could look right now, I guess, what Mark IV belts are able to produce. There, let's see, 480 resources per minute. These are 780. So I knew going into it that the bus system would be limited to, or not limited, but I guess there could be a potential bottleneck of belt speed and supply rates. So one thing I was thinking about, or one way I was thinking I could mitigate, or I guess make up for the belt speed supply rate limb fact, which I haven't ran into the limiting factors yet. Limb fact, that's what that means. Sorry, I'm in the military. I use terms. But one way I figured I could overcome belt speed supply rates was to add additional inputs of the same resource. So, for example, if I needed more copper ingots, then I would just mine more at a different spot, bring them in, and introduce them into the bus system at multiple points in the bus system. Um, so that's the basic workings of the bus system. The inside here is, excuse me, the inside here is the central supply, whatever area. I guess it's all my boxes. So the boxes on the inside draw from the belts, and to continue with the rotating stock idea, they come in here, for example, and then inside the boxes I have stacked 2 industrial storage containers high. The conveyor lifts are moving materials from the bottom to the top on this side, and then from the top to the bottom on the other side, so that the stock is continually rotating through these boxes. I like this because I can pull materials from top or bottom manually, or I can push or pull items from the top or the bottom if I need to. So that's pretty nice. I ended up adding more boxes up top. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use the top ones. I think I'll just take them down because they look funny. They're not, super neat looking. That was kind of that's another reason I added this central row inside here. We'll see how this works out. I haven't added too many. I think I've only, all clad aluminum is the only one I've put into the bus from these central boxes. I get the feeling that as soon as I start trying to do that, it's going to get super messy inside here. So I kind of want to avoid that. One thing I could possibly do, I've considered, is if I need to expand the bus, make it bigger, make for more room for the. And I'm not entirely convinced the storage system on the inside of my bus is all that useful. It'd be a lot of work to take all this and move it somewhere else, though. Maybe I could move it underneath. I think that might be an option. But one thing is just to take out one side of this bus, take out all these manufacturers, expand the bus out one way, and just make it a longer rectangle. Um, yeah. So when I started with the circular bus, I like the rotating stock idea, rotating items. They're always like if they don't get used up one time, they'll come back around and get used up the next time. Thought it was kind of a good idea. I haven't crunched any numbers in this game, which I think I'm gonna have to start doing when I really want to start. Say, producing X number of supercomputers per minute, and then I'll really have to start looking at, well, what I need as far as supply goes to meet those supercomputer production demands. And so when I started out with this circular bus, the intent was to expand out off the 4 flat edges. Quickly realized that I would run out of space pretty quick, or just start or just I would have infinite production line, not infinite, but like ever expanding production line. So what I started doing was making sort of satellite factories out away from the bus, feeding them with longer belts. Like for example, this one is making concrete and forced steel beams. For this, I'm supplying it with steel beams and concrete, and making the beams, and then spot producing the actual steel ingots out here. So I'm not pulling the steel ingots from the bus, I'm just spot producing close to the satellite factory out here. Out here I have more steel beams to meet the demand of something. I can't remember what I was trying to do. What was I trying to do with that? Steel beams reinforced. I think I was trying to make more reinforced steel beams because some of the trains need them, or maybe some of the nuclear items need this reinforced steel beams. That's my ultimate goal, is to start going nuclear. But for now, I haven't got to the point where I'm actually mass producing a lot of the items. I'm only mass producing a handful of items. Like out here, I'm producing motors. Up here, I'm making stagers and rotors. I think I'm making rotors. Jeez, what am I making rotors? Somewhere. Oh, this factory is making rotors, providing, and then supplying the bus, which is then supplying my motor factory. So I got a few more satellite factories to make before I actually am able to meet the demands of a nuclear power source. So yeah, real quick tour of my circular bus system. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions or want to see the videos. Alrighty, talk to you guys later. Squirrel Games out.